Hello, AAS class. How are you guys doing? It's Miss Wall again. I'm going to give you a video of the textbook because you'll need the book to answer your questions for this week's tasks. We are in chapter 10 and we are dealing with the road to equality, battling segregation. So last week you finished World War II and answering questions about the GI Bill and figuring out information about the KKK. This week, we're picking up on that just to talk about what happened to African Americans when they came back from the Second World War. So, on this page is a graphic organizer, and it tells you that as you read, you're going to take notes on the civil rights in the post war period, school desegregations, and other calls for change. I'm going to give you that document. If you can print it out, then print it out and fill it in for yourself. But that's not your assignment. That's just you taking notes so you can do well this week on understanding what work you have to do for the assignment and also for the quiz that you'll have this Thursday. If you look over at the main idea, it says in the late 40s and early 50s, African Americans successfully broke down, quote, separate but equal, end quote, barriers in education and professional baseball. Now, when you read, you have to keep that in your mind. Like, you need to think, what exactly does that mean, separate but equal? It goes back to the assignment where I asked you guys, did you feel like Marcus Garvey was correct in saying that we should go back to Africa? And based on the responses that I got, some of you disagreed with that. Well, separate but equal is saying, like, yes, we can go and be around each other, but we need to be separated. And so it has the same lines of what Marcus Garvey was talking about, except this time coming from a racist perspective, it makes it seem forced, and that wasn't fair. So this whole section talks about the civil rights progress that was made during post-war period, the methods that civil rights activists were trying to use to desegregate public schools, and then the other events that led to this call for change. Some key terms and people are Thurgood Marshall, Sweat versus Painter, Brown versus Board of Education, Little Rock Nine, Jackie Robinson, Emmett Till. All right, going to the next page. Please read that section on school desegregation. All right, come down, and you'll be introduced to Thurgood Marshall, integral part of the civil rights movement before it became really large. And here is your first court case. So your task number one this week, you're going to examine 4 of the court cases that launched a campaign against segregation. You will choose 2 of these court cases and answer the 7 questions that I've placed inside Canvas for you. That is your assignment this week. While I'm paused right here, make sure you look at the first one. It's Gaines versus Canada. And then there's information about Thurgood Marshall. Make sure you pause the video so you can see that and read it, so you can take notes on the graphic organizer that I've supplied to all of you. The next page, 1946, is talking more about Thurgood Marshall. And then here is where you'll see where I got the idea for your assignment. Okay? Don't go by these directions at all. Go by the directions that are in Canvas. The second court case, Sweat versus Painter. Please read this page while I'm talking, because that's where the information will come from. Make sure you pause the video so you can read at your own pace and take notes in your graphic organizer. The next part, or the next court case, number 3, is Brown. Oh, actually, that's number 4. The next case is McLaurin versus Oklahoma State Regents. It's not highlighted, but it's right here in italics. Don't know if you see that. That's number 3. And then the largest court case, the most famous one, is Brown versus Board of Education. Please read that information. Pause the computer as you need to. Okay. I'm going to go to the next page because, like I said, you have a quiz this week. So I want to make sure that you get a chance to read the material. Okay. Here's the Little Rock 9. Please read that section. You can pause the video and just read it on your own pace. I'm going to scroll down so you can get the rest of this page. Turning. Make sure you take these notes and put it in the graphic organizer. So like I said, you'll do well on the quiz. Pause the video as you need to, especially since I may be going too fast. Other calls for change. Write down all the names of these influential people. And you should know this now. Now you're into the 20th century, so you know Jackie Robinson. So you're getting into the part of history that you are familiar with. And I'm going to the next page. And we have the Emmett Till case. Probably this weekend I may add something else for you. It's not a mandatory assignment. It's just me giving you videos that you can watch. We watched a little bit in class, but we can go into more detail. Continue reading. And that is the end. Make sure that you pause the video where you need in order to finish reading. And that's where it stops. Okay? Your second task for this week, I think I'm going to stay in this section and not go forward yet. I was going to go a little bit faster, but I'm going to stay put. Your second task just may be political cartoon, or I might just allow that graphic organizer to be your second assignment. I think I will. It just depends. So what you need to do is just read the directions, but make sure you are stopping and pausing the video so you can read this material. You will need it for the quiz on Thursday. All right, if you have no other questions, I will be in a session with you soon. Just pay attention to Canvas. Thank you to those of you who have been doing everything you're supposed to do. I appreciate it. Some of you, you know you need to work a little bit harder, but hopefully you'll start this week. All right, then. Contact me via email if you need anything, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.